Friends and family, I ask that you please rise. On behalf of the faculty and staff of the Fuqua School of Business, I present to you the Weekend Executive MBA Class of 2024, the Global Executive MBA Class of 2024, the Master of Science in Quantitative Management and Health Analytics Class of 2024, the Master of Science in Quantitative Management Business Analytics Class of 2024, and the Master of Science in Quantitative Management Accelerated Business Analytics Class of 2024. Please be seated. Welcome, everyone. My name is Bill Bolding, and it's my remarkable privilege to be the Dean of the Fuqua School of Business at Duke University. And I have to say that at this time in the world, there are many places which feel dangerous, dark, despairing. And yet, right here, right now, we feel joy and celebration. The joy is partly to celebrate the incredible success and achievements of these soon-to-be graduates, but also the joy in knowing that we're producing the talent that can deal with some of those difficult, dangerous situations that exist in the world. And the celebration is indeed warranted given all that they have accomplished and all that they will accomplish. So today, the spotlight is on you, the soon-to-be graduates. Congratulations for reaching this milestone. Of course, the reality is they would not be here today without the people around them that got them to this finish line. And so my enormous thanks to the family and friends that are here, who gave the support that was needed to reach this momentous day, and to those who can't join us today, thank you for all you've done to make this day possible. I also want to thank all of our faculty who guided you along this journey and pushed you, challenged you, and helped you develop along this journey that will continue. As well, our staff who are there every step of the way to support you during what sometimes were difficult and challenging times, sometimes days full of fun, quite honestly. And so I'm very grateful to the faculty and staff who've done so much to help you. I'd also like to thank the student representatives who were your eyes, ears, and voices often in meeting with the administration to understand what we could do to make this journey the best possible journey. If I could ask the class representatives to please stand and be recognized. Thank you. So with that, I'm going to invite Jeremy Petranka to the podium. So Jeremy is the Associate Dean for Executive MBA and Quantitative Management Programs. Jeremy?
Good morning, everybody. So the Weekend Executive, Global Executive, and MSQM classes have spent many hours under the tutelage of the Fuqua faculty. To begin our celebration, it gives me great pleasure to recognize our Excellence in Teaching Award winners on behalf of all of our programs. So first up, on behalf of the Weekend Executive MBA Class of 2024, I'm pleased to recognize the Excellence in Teaching Award winners, Mike Aguilar and David Ridley, and David is joining us this morning. Now, on behalf of the Global Executive MBA Class of 2024, I'd like to recognize the Excellence in Teaching Award winners, Catherine Schipper and Luis Pedero. Catherine is able to join us this morning. And lastly, on behalf of the MSQM classes graduating this morning, I'd like to recognize the Excellence in Teaching Award winners, David Brown and Pung Soon. David is joining us this morning. I am now extremely excited to be able to introduce our class speakers for the programs. So first up is the class speaker for the Weekend Executive MBA class of 2024, Tiffany Nigel Clinton. So, wait for it, wait for it. So when we asked her classmates why they selected her to be class speaker, we kept hearing the same thing, and none of this surprised me knowing Tiffany. She is infectiously positive, she cares deeply about her class, and she is truly inspiring. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Tiffany Clinton.
Good morning, and welcome to what I believe is the greatest assembly of people at this very hour, or what Senior Associate Dean Petrenka often refers to as a room full of very smart people. Faithful family and friends, thank you for showering our journey with love and inspiration, despite how crazy we must have sounded when you overheard us talking about death spirals, contemplating MR equals MC tattoos, and preparing for a certain Sunday morning exam that required only a pencil, paper, and God. To the nameless support staff of Fuqua and JB Duke, simply thank you. And teammates, thank you for rising to the occasion when we were challenged by Dean Boulding to become triple threat leaders. We exceeded his call. We were steadfast supporters and confidants throughout our insecurities and revelations, job pivots and promotions, formidable challenges, precious births, and sacred losses. We put our strength behind a teammate who was diagnosed with breast cancer, and uplifted our surgical oncologist teammate who only God would have it to be her doctor in that triumphant journey of healing. We embraced our outstanding professors and were moved to collectively help those beyond these gates. We lived up to our unspoken promise to get each other through. Dean Boulding, WIMBA 24 is your finest vintage yet. And it's no accident that we're graduating in iconic Cameron Indoor Stadium, sitting under banners that commemorate legendary achievements, and on top of a floor where the remarkable occurred. I believe Fuqua chose this setting for us because there is one final key takeaway that is whispered in this setting. Inscribed on Kobe's statue is, "Leave the game better than you found it. And when it comes time for you to leave, leave a legend." That's the directive. Become legendary. We're no longer looking for Tim, Adam, and Janet in the halls of Fuqua. There's a new generation awaiting each of us. We must continue to build upon this momentum and be audacious. Our dreams must be cloaked in undeniable sophistication, boldness, brilliance, fearlessness, style, and decency, so that in the end, we can be called legendary leader, legendary philanthropist, legendary teammate, legendary insert title here. I need you to be legendary. We need each other to be legendary. Remember the important lesson that we learned from our exceptional military teammates in Term 1. Despite what we believe, we cannot walk through the hot desert alone. After we basked in this achievement, don't forget this bond. Iron must continue to sharpen iron. Like the storied teams immortalized above us, our team doesn't cease to exist at the buzzer. So program all 161 of us in your favorites Don't ever send us to voicemail. After all, it just might be that call to purchase the Lakers. We're certified triple threats now. It's time to go be legendary. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I'd now like to introduce the class speaker for the Global Executive MBA class of 2024, Ahoy Ifua. So Ahoy's, keep jumping the gun before I get to compliment him. So Ahoy's classmates made it very clear that he also has relentless positivity, is incredibly warm, and always wears a smile. And apparently that's not all he wears, because a whole lot of you also pointed out that he is clearly the best dressed in the class. I am very pleased to welcome Ahoy Ifua.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things. Not because they're easy, but because they are hard. That's my favorite quote from President Kennedy. He gave that in the 60s at the height of the space race. Many don't know this, but when I was younger, I also wanted to be an astronaut. But a couple of things happened. First, I grew up in a country without an active space program. I'm Nigerian, by the way. And second, I realized that I was not a fan of heights. I'm still not. So naturally, I chose the next best thing, something equally as exciting and just as dangerous. I became a CPA. And I'm sure Professor Shipper would approve. I don't know about you, but when I reflect on the last 2 years, it has been intense. To be honest, more so than I imagined, which might surprise some. With getting back into the groove of academics, juggling that with our personal lives, our ever-demanding professional careers, and then throw in an intense travel schedule, with some of us having to be on 4 continents. Tough? Absolutely. But guess what? You did that. Hove didn't do that. Not to sound cliche, but if you can make it through the last 2 years to this side of the program in one piece, it would be a shame if we left here today not knowing that we can achieve whatever we want to once we set our minds to it, regardless of how daunting it might seem. As we leave here today and pursue our various journeys to the moon, whatever that might be for you, when it gets difficult, remember that Yao isn't choosing to become the next Ghanaian Minister of Power, or Apara is not choosing to get behind the wheels of a NASCAR, or Leo choosing to de oppresso liber, to free the oppressed. They're not choosing those things because they're easy. No. Instead, they're choosing them because they're important and they're hard. While I'm confident that individually we're all capable of tackling hard and important problems ourselves, I'd like to remind us of an African proverb as old as time, yet as fresh as our new diplomas. And it says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with many, or go with a tribe. On this journey, I've learned so much from our professors, and a ton as well from our classmates, my new tribe. And I look forward to not just going fast, but going far with all of you, as we collaborate to tackle hard and important problems. Or just catching up to grab a drink as we watch the Blue Devils dominate March Madness. Finally, I'd like to say a huge thank you to the Almighty and everyone that made this possible. The faculty, the staff, our coworkers, and of course, our families and friends. They've been with us through it all. The weekend classes, the travel, the late nights, the group fights, scratch that, the group meetings. Everything. In the words of Amaru Shakur, you are appreciated. Once again, congratulations, class of 2024. I will miss you. But first, let's grab that drink, and I'll see you at the bar. Happy Mother's Day, Mama.
Thank you so much. So now I'd like to introduce the class speaker for the Master of Science in Quantitative Management programs, Nicholas William Skirpon of the MSQM Health Analytics program. And let's clap. Let's make it consistent now. Hold on. So what you need to know about Nick is he just exudes Team Fuqua. So he will always be there if you need him. And I can personally tell you, he is just incredibly kind and incredibly generous. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Skirpon.
I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you all that I went to a 2-year school approximately 46 miles from where we are sitting here today. I went on a baseball scholarship, but unfortunately I never played due to a broken foot and 3 foot surgeries over the course of my time there. I was, however, able to adjust my ambitions that I had in baseball into my academics, and in my second year, the dean at Lewisburg College personally drove me to an admissions meeting right here at Duke University. As many know, although I didn't go to Duke University for my undergraduate studies, and it was because I didn't get in. Although it was tough reading the rejection letter from Duke, I realized something as we were sitting in our orientation 7 years later, listening to Dean Boulding speak on intelligent quotient, emotional quotient, and the most insightful one, decency quotient. I realized that although Duke attracts the very best students in their fields, they also get students who are their very best selves. When we reflect on the past 10 to 22 months being in our respective programs, it's important to remember that the concept of Team Fuqua is at the core of the experience in these hybrid programs. We've been able to learn together while being located throughout the world. We've been able to enhance the work we do in our various roles by the tangible skills and perspective gained by us, our professors, by Fuqua. When I look at each of you and think of my interactions with my classmates in the MSQM programs, I am so proud to know that we got the very best from each other, especially in a moment of unbalance. The idea that you, along with your friends and colleagues, decided to take the road less traveled. We worked, we cared for families, we studied, we came to campus for intensives, we met new friends, some of us started families, we became Duke alumni. Well, not yet, almost. We need to appreciate that often it is in the moments of unbalance when we find our footing. We need to know that these months spent at Fuqua, although unbalanced at times, has prepared us to create balance in this world when it is needed the most. In closing, I need to thank my wife, Olivia, as I'm sure all of you want to thank those who supported you throughout this journey, and to our son, Anderson, and to all the children in Cameron this morning. It will someday be your responsibility to transform lives and to create common purpose. But throughout that pursuit, you must always remember to remain decent. Thank you and congratulations to the graduating class of 2024.
Many thanks to all of our wonderful student speakers for their just outstanding messages. It is now with just great pleasure that I introduce our commencement speaker, Ajay Banga. When we choose a commencement speaker, there are certain criteria that I think are very important that we fulfill. The first one is we need to put someone in front of you who has extraordinary accomplishment. You need to see what you could become over time if you could be as successful as our speaker. And Ajay has lived a life that is incredibly accomplished. His time at MasterCard as president, CEO, executive chairman, he brought that company to new heights. And now, of course, in his role as the president of the World Bank, he's taking on challenges that encompass literally the entire world. And so this is someone who is, without a doubt, supremely accomplished. But in addition to accomplishment, you hope that this person has some wisdom. And what I can tell you is, having benefited from knowing Ajay for a number of years, I think he is probably the wisest person I know. He understands the urgency of now and the need to act, but he also understands how we must invest in our future and be committed to the people who will follow us. And so, yes, he has wisdom, and I look forward to hearing what he has to say. But the next thing may be the most important, which is you want someone who's done all these things, accumulated this wisdom, and done it the right way. Someone who embodies the values that we think matter in this world. And so several of the speakers have mentioned this thing, IQ, EQ, DQ. Well, Ajay, in my opinion, is off the charts in all three of those dimensions. He truly embodies being legendary. And finally, we want someone, if we're lucky, who's connected to Duke. And I can't think of a speaker that we've ever had who is more profoundly connected to Duke in the following sense. It was a number of years ago when I hosted Ajay in the Distinguished Speaker Series that I first heard the term decency quotient. Ajay coined this term. He is at the foundation of our foundation. And so, Ajay, please come forward.
Good morning, everybody, and Dean Boulding, thank you for inviting me to address the 2024 Duke University Fuqua School graduates. I know it's a very special day for Dean Boulding as well. He's graduating as well. It just took him more than a decade to do what you guys are doing in a short period of time, but he's getting there. Faculty, parents, loved ones, friends, it's an absolute honor to join you to celebrate this year's class, and to all of you, the graduates, soon-to-be graduates, congratulations. I remember fondly sitting in your seat, and I miss that day every day. So congratulations, enjoy today, and enjoy what's coming ahead of you. You are about to hold in your hands not just an MBA, but a testament to your resilience, to your ambition, and your unwavering belief in the power of each of you to make a difference. For many of you, this degree is a boost to a career that's already moving. For some, it's a change in direction, and for others, it's the beginning of a journey. In that moment, you should be painting a picture of your future in bold strokes. You should be speaking about billion-dollar deals. You should be talking about world-altering innovation and sweeping impact. But, and I really want you to pause for a moment on this, because amidst all those great visions, something crucial often gets overlooked: luck. In life, personal and professional, I subscribe to a fundamental belief that life is half luck, determined by being who you are, when you are, where you are. The question is the other half. The other half is what you do with the hand you're dealt when opportunities come your way. The question is, do you have the courage to grab those opportunities when they show up? Do you take the risk, and do you run with that risk? So back in 1979, I met my wife, and she's right here in the audience. We sat in a business school class together. I could never have determined that would happen. One seat behind each other. That's pure luck. 45 years later, now I'm not sure she would think of this as good luck, but I do. 45 years later, here we are. What we did with our luck, we pursued each other. We built a life together, is what set us off on what I call the magic carpet ride that we've had. So together we pursued our luck and many opportunities in different cities, in different countries, in different companies, and now an opportunity to confront poverty and inequality and secure a more livable planet for my grandchildren and yours. I didn't see any of this coming. And that's the other side of luck, the pursuit. Strict adherence to a meticulous plan will deprive your career and your life of the opportunity to seize and pursue luck. And by the way, such devotion denies 2,300 years of philosophical doctrine. The only constant is change. In 5 years' time, the organization will not look the same as it does today. Organization structure will have changed twice. The job you wanted will have evolved. A new boss will have come and gone and come again. Efficiencies may have been gained with technology. Maybe the company that you were in acquired a whole new line of business. Maybe it missed a wave, or it experienced explosive growth. Who the heck knows? So when you leave here, don't spend so much time plotting your career as a series of steps up the ladder. Your career, your life has got to be more than a succession of tests to overcome or steps to climb. Be open to taking the plunge, take the risk, bet on yourself. Each of us has only one life, it's one precious life. Each of us will enjoy successes, we will endure setbacks. We will have loved and we will have lost. We will climb, we will fall. No one is immune to variations of life any more than we are exempt to the fluctuations of business. All you can do is take each in stride and then live it to the max. So that is my first message. Love your luck and seize it. Now, when that big opportunity does fall from the sky and you grab it, how are you going to leave your mark? How will you lead? And in my view, there are 4 traits that all good leaders share. The first is urgency. They listen carefully, they gather knowledge from others who know more than they do. That sense of humility that you don't know everything is your friend. But then you need to act with a sense of urgency. You will never have perfect information, so you must be comfortable with thoughtful risk-taking. In your career, there will be lots of people who are incented to tell you, no, you can't do that. You need to find the people who will say yes if you do it this way. That is what you need to be as well, the person who presents solutions. Done is much better than perfect. That's kind of the first point. Second, curiosity. You got to be curious. You have to have a deep desire to understand the world around you. That's what good leaders do. But they focus that curiosity on the right questions and they seek out new information to help them make those better decisions. Therefore, question everything, always. Surround yourself with people who didn't go to the same school as you, don't look like you, don't walk like you, didn't have the same experiences. You will always benefit from that person at your table in your life. Question everything, always. Surround yourself with people different from you. Competitiveness. These leaders are competitive. They're driven to succeed, but they also want others to succeed. It's an insatiable desire to be innovative. You got to finish first, but you got to finish with your team, because it's only lonely at the top if you're alone. Lastly, simplicity. You have to keep it simple. That, by the way, is the hardest thing to do in an increasingly complex world. Cutting through the noise to find the things that really matter, you bring them to the front. Recognize that simplicity is a unifying force. It allows others to understand, to connect, to move forward together, and to drive success. What unlocks all these traits is a sense of balance, the ability to successfully negotiate inherent conflicts. So I said patient listening, but purposeful urgency. Clear direction, but persistent curiosity. Shared success, but personal competitiveness. And the power of elegant simplicity in a complex world. That's my second topic, the 4 traits. On to the third one. Achieving great things does not require us to swing for the fence with every pitch, or in this stadium, to throw a 3-pointer each time. There is transformative power in small wins, in sweating the details. The impressive achievement you will hold in your hands today isn't the product of passing one exam or nailing a single presentation, although I'm sure you guys did. This moment has arrived as the result of 1,000 tiny victories. That's the power of small wins. They are the stepping stones on the path to grand ambitions and lasting change. So I'll give you an example. The World Bank is an 80-year-old institution where we are working to modernize and change. It's filled with exceptional economists and some of the brightest development, water, climate, gender, and health experts in the world. Many have been there long enough to see presidents like me come and go, to see promises made and a few kept. Many of them have had their passion give way to cynicism. They've walked by a rusty bench, they walked by crooked paintings around the office for too many years. That erodes their faith in the place, it takes away from their ownership of the institution. But even there, a spark remains. Do those crooked paintings or rusted benches, do they slow our work to arrest climate change or diminish poverty? Maybe not directly. But I will tell you, they're more meaningful than meets the eye. So what you have to do is take an action. Level the picture, get the bench painted or paint it yourself, and the spark gets flamed. The next week, fix a small pain point, give someone credit for a win. Now their ears perk up. In a month, streamline a process, make something a little bit easier. Staff start walking just a little taller. And a few whatevers down the road, refresh the mission to be more ambitious. Now people see the change, they feel the change, they believe it's possible. Bit by bit, motivation and optimism begin to catch. They're infectious. You're recruiting the staff to join you, and before long, while you're still driving change, you're announcing big plans like the ones we just did to bring electricity to 300 million people in Africa who currently have none, or to extend healthcare to 1.5 billion people throughout the developing world in the next 6 or 7 years. And to think for us at the World Bank, it all started with a bench and a picture. So as you embark on your careers, don't underestimate the power of small victories. Celebrate them, no matter how insignificant they might seem. Every step forward, every challenge overcome, it's a testament to your resilience, to your determination. These small wins build the momentum. They will fuel your confidence for bigger challenges. And finally, the fourth point. Leadership isn't just about achieving results or overcoming big challenges. It is absolutely about how you achieve them. When I was young, and Dean Boulding talked about this, what mattered was IQ, the intelligence quotient. We were told leaders had to be smart. The smarter you were, the further you were likely to go. By the time we reached business school, the idea of EQ started to come up, the emotional quotient, how well you dealt with ambiguity, how difficult circumstances, difficult bosses, challenging circumstances, how you managed your way through them. If you could work through those things with grace, you were thought of as a superior leader, and that would make your career go in the right direction. But over time, I learned that IQ and EQ were just not enough. Leadership required decency, DQ, the decency quotient, the topic that Dean Boulding talked about. What's interesting is that decency transforms leadership. It allows you to not only act quickly, but also to make wise decisions. It allows you to be curious, but also purposeful. It allows you to be competitive, but also understand the needs of others. Decency isn't about being nice. It's about treating everyone with fairness, transparency, and respect. It's about speaking truth to power, even when it's difficult. It's about giving feedback with clarity and with empathy and learning from those around you. It's about creating a culture where everyone feels valued, heard, and empowered to contribute their very best to you. Leading with decency isn't just the right thing to do, it's the smart thing to do. It fosters trust, it fosters collaboration and innovation. It attracts, it retains talent, it creates a work environment where people thrive, where they reach their full potential. It's about being a hand on their back, pushing them forward, not a hand in their face, holding them back. I know you're eager to conquer the world and make your mark. Just remember, it all starts with a little luck and the courage to pursue it. Urgency, curiosity, competitiveness, simplicity, and balance. Traits of leadership that I hope will walk alongside you. And finally, lead with decency. You will have a rewarding career, but I think much more importantly, you will have a very rewarding and a fulfilling life. As you step out into the world, embrace those victories, the small victories, celebrate your progress. Remember that even seemingly insignificant actions can have a profound impact. Make the most of your own magic carpet ride. Good luck. God bless all of you.
Thank you, Ajay. Thank you for the impact you've had in transforming our community and making decency a cornerstone for this entire community. And thank you for showing us as a role model that decency is the path to greatness. On behalf of the entire community, I'd like to give you this gift. And now I'd like Jeremy to come back to the podium as we begin recognition of the graduates.
So before we get to the part of this morning that we're all looking forward to and celebrating everyone, we'd actually like to celebrate a few specific students, in particular the students who academically distinguish themselves within their program. So I ask that those of you who have been designated a Fuqua Scholar to rise right now. So for those of you who don't know what a Fuqua Scholar is, a Fuqua Scholar are those students who graduated in the top 10% of their class, and you can find their names in your programs. This really is an achievement that just reflects dedication, tenacity, and commitment. And I ask that you all join me in once again congratulating our Fuqua Scholars on their outstanding achievements. And you can sit down now. Now it is the time that we have all been waiting for. It's a time to individually recognize our graduates by asking each to come forward to be recognized and congratulated by the entire assembly gathered here today. Bill, if you'd like to come up. At this time, I'd like to ask Angus Bowers to come forward to read the names of the Weekend Executive MBA 2024 graduates. We ask the graduates to file up to the stage on your right, and as your name is called, please accept a diploma cover and our congratulations. As this is a very special moment, I very much encourage all of you to cheer for our graduates and show your joy and support. Thanks from your mic. Okay, right now? No, after once they're done, yeah, I'd like to do two. With a solid shirt. Thank you. So, yeah, that's what I think. Yeah. And I'll say congratulations, and I'll go to the next one. It's not as big. It'll just be that. Thanks. Sure, tell me when we're doing the programs. Especially if we get to MSQM.
Tiffany Najel Clinton. Jonathan Alvin Aguilar. Charles Antoine Aguimen. Brahma Alaparti. Amal Chandrakant Ambilvade. Somya Arumalla. Govardhani Babu. Paul Joseph Baratta. Giri Batu. Carson Becken. Taylor Christine Bennett. Benjamin Victor Bonomo. Gregory Brennan. Adam Carroll Briley. Benjamin Joseph Bruckman. Samuel J. Brumlev. Jarrett C. Bunnan. Matthew Allen Burmeister. William Shane Cabrera. Andre Reginald Campbell. Seth Carruthers. Ricardo Sandrovics Carvalho. Devin Richard Castles. Selena Rosa Castillo. Ram Chepuri. Wei Qi. Taylor Clausen. Victoria Crowley. Jason W. Croy. Jonathan Thomas Darling. Robert Davis. Nat Min Do. Dushyant Dokoru. Christopher Doty. Samuel Drackett. Stephanie Dunn. Gaura Dwivedi. Nathan Dorr Edgerly. Sindura Elori. Justin Joseph Fitzy. Mark Flournoy. Robert James French, Jr. David Gansberg. Juliet Garcia. Sean Patrick Garrison. Daniel Guvahi. Matthew Grothaus. Ashish K. Gupta. Nathan Hearn. Griffin Hoover. William Humphreys. Jeffrey Skillman Hunt. Eunsil S. Huang. Jose Antonio Iglesias II. Sharad Jain. Praveen Jayakumar. Karen Marie Jordan. Silpa Sankar Kolahasti. Venkataraman Kamakodi. Hadia Khan. Iman Khosravi. Allison Marie Kilius. Rachel Cleon. Sai Somya Kota. Vino Kurian. Olaf Laval. Mary Margaret Lewis. Qing Liu. Desiree Jasmine Logan. Namita Lokare. William James Martin. Ksenia Mazurenko. Tanner McConvey. Nicole McGarry. The L or not? Okay. Grace Salmon McGrath. Benjamin David Meadows. Atush Mehta. Madhur Mehta. Nagsen Meshram. Hayden Miller. Sarah Ming. Jeremiah Paul Mosley. Dylan Mensch. Kavya Mulammala. Vinay Munakegar. Michael Nishimura. Alex Weston Nordholm. Michael Frederick O'Farrell, Jr. Seg Bernard Ogang. Toba Segun Oyewumni. Ronak Dipan Patel. Catherine Penn. Kevin Phelan. Gina Potenza. Ridge Evan Richards. Nikki Ritzi. Roston Robert Rodriguez. Christopher Edward Roskowski. Sanjog Chandrakant Alka Subnis. Balaji Kalia Perumal Sadakopa. Claudia Sandoval Atunes. Balaji Sankara Narayanan. Christopher Scallion. Stacy Lynn Scarborough. Mitchell Shore. Ali Seeley. Todd Sega. Mohammad Shadab. JT Shelnut. Sally Shun. Yuvraj Sidhu. Dinesh Singh. Bhupesh Ganesh Sinakar. Oris Temple Sloan IV. Dale Smith. Vivek Solanki. Julie Walters Somariba. Paul Spomer. William Henry Stanford. William J. Stevenson, Jr. Rebecca Straley. Paul Robert Sutton. Carl William Swinford. Shaquille Tensley. Jeremiah James Teddy. Is that a ch at the end or a k? Take the chain. Sean Anthony Tokic. Paul Truig. Shiv Vasista. Brian Philip Vadell. Anisha Valabuneni. Jacqueline Spencer Velasquez. Sarvani Vemulapalli. Hola or ho? Matthew Thomas von Holly. Yowana Robert Muwazi Wamala. Pu Wang. Janusz Mikhail Vasiulek. Mitchell Weaver. Jonathan Wyrath. Sarah Marie Whipple. Jeremy Raymond White. Ty Christian Williams. Matthew Willis. Gerald Jermaine Wilson. Catherine Elise Wittenberg. Bella Davidova Wolan. Collier Wright. Irina Yakunicheva. Dan Phoebe Zhang.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the Weekend Executive MBA Class of 2024. Up next, we will now read the names of the Global Executive MBA Class of 2024 graduates as they come forward. Again, we ask the graduates to come up to the stage on your right, and as your name is called, please accept your diploma cover and our congratulations.
Ahoy Aifua. Nami Abraham. Ya Akbalu. Eli Amir Nasser. Brandon Bochansky. Samuel Bustamante. Philip D. Carter. Erwin Cervantes. Lori Bokutsi Kumura. Jun Q Choi. Dhruv Chaudhary. Cole Clifton. David Alexander Kurameng. Paige Michelle Curtis. Carolina Diaz Vargas. Christina Dombovich. Isabella Dreyfus. Taryn Tiempo Felder. Louis Feldman. Leah Jane Gorman. Jessica Elizabeth Heimbrook. Dulanji Kurupu. Sarah Nicole Lovey. Bharat Maturu. Wilfredo Mokiasa Fisarreta. Michael J. Owens. Appara Pochiraju. Lalita Rudraya. John Joseph Santana. No. Garrett Schroeder. Michael Joseph Segal. Joanne Sempertegui Reategui. Leo William Sliney. Sri Krishna Sugumar. Paisley Michelle Tucker. Ian Turnbull. Tyler Thompson Watkins. Wynant or Wienant? Zachary Wienant. Charity Danae Williams. Gus Senzoari. Christina Collier-Zwisler.
Join me in congratulating the Global Executive MBA Class of 2024. We're now going to recognize the MSQM HA Class of 2024 graduates. As before, as your name is called, please accept your diploma cover and our congratulations.
Nicholas William Skirpin. Julia Hannah Benson. Claiborne Fuller Blackley IV. Randolph Boschultz. Jane Mopin Bynum. Seola Choi. Francisca Cisneros Castillo. Jennifer Dunham. Emily Christina Hammond. Stephanie Hardiman. Keisha Cherie Hollis. Meredith Ann Keck. Josna Caney. Aisha Khan. Morgan Knapp. Ashwant Kumar. David M. Macias. Amanda Rogers McDowell. Jeffrey Jackson Moore. Obasola Adajire Olateju. Cheska O'Neill. Caitlin O'Riordan. Rishi Patel. Caleb Joshua Padar. Kimberly Perez. Vitasta Singh. Lauren Vara. Yuhan Wong. Sun Yue.
Congratulations to the MSQM HA class of 2024. We will now celebrate the MSQM BA class of 2024 graduates.
Quentin Monteith Dixon. Enid Afyavi Gbenyon. Ryan Gray. Zachary Adam Hartley. Ian Hippard. Kujia Lee. Min Lee. Kevin Matthew. Alex McKenna. Samantha Ung. Sloan Brooks Russett. Miles Smith. Lauren Burke Stinner. Chun Hao Wei. Chin Nan Xie. Michelle Yu. Corey Everett Zenka.
Let's now congratulate the MSQM BA class of 2024. And finally, and they have been waiting for this for a little while, the MSQM ABA class of 2023.
Anglade, gotcha. Bettina Danielle Anglade. Mitchell Taylor Atchison. Ke Hu. Pablo Yantain Jerez. Stuart C. Lopez. Siddharth Modi. Jared Justin Murphy. Brian Isaac Ritter. Elmer Madela Salmo. Ana Valverde Vidal.
Ladies and gentlemen, the MSQM ABA class of 2023.
Okay, congratulations to all of our graduates. So we are almost done with this fantastic celebration. We will continue the celebration after the ceremony over in the Fox Center. And so I would ask that everyone, all the friends and family with us today, please remain seated until the platform party recesses and the students recess, and then we can all join together outside and at the Fox Center. Before we do that, I'd like to ask all the students to please rise. So I'm not going to miss this opportunity to give you my first talk as alumni. Before we talk about your responsibilities as alumni, let me start by saying when we get to graduation, every class always asked me the following question: what is it that makes us special? And I used to answer that question, but I learned over time that they didn't really want to know the details. What the question really was is, are we your favorite class ever? Are we the best? And so let me say, for all of these graduating classes, spoken from a position of great experience, having seen all of these students come before you, you are without question the very best I have ever seen. Please understand that next year, when the dean is giving this commencement, he or she will certainly say they're the best they've ever had. Now that'll be 1 out of 1. So I want to make some requests of you as you make this transition into alumnihood. And there are 5 things that I ask of you. The first one is, this is your day, but this is only your day because of all the people who helped get you there. So please show gratitude often, frequently, repeatedly, to those people who helped bring you to this incredible finish line. It's their day too. Do not forget, it's their day too. The second thing is, I'd like you all to really make an effort to stay in touch with us. As you think about your experiences, think about the number of times when some alum was a part of your experience, helped you out, took a phone call, connected you in some way, shared their experiences. Please give back to the people who will follow you so that we can keep getting better and better and better every year. The third thing is, and you'll probably think this one is easy, no problem, which is, please stay in touch with each other. And you're thinking, of course I'm going to stay in touch. These are people that I've formed bonds that will last a lifetime. But I have news for you. After this day, when you go back to different parts of the world, life will come at you fast and furious. A day will go by and I'll say, I'll get to it later this week. A week will go by. Before you know it, a month has gone by, and then it's a year. And you go, what happened? What happened to my connection here? It takes work, it takes effort to keep these bonds fresh and relevant as you move through your lifetimes. But here's the thing that you have an incredible gift. You have the gift of true friendship. And that's the gift that Team Fuqua has given you. And when I say true friendship is defined by Aristotle, who said you can only have true friendship if it's with good people, similar in virtue. And that's what Team Fuqua has given you. Good people, similar in virtue. You're surrounded by these people. Keep them around you for the rest of your lives. The fourth thing, I want to remind you of something I said to each and every one of you when I welcomed you into the Fuqua community. I'm willing to bet none of you actually remember this, but what I said is, please pursue happiness. And when I said pursue happiness, I didn't mean go out and party every night. Some of you may have misinterpreted me. What I wanted you to do was pursue happiness, again, as Aristotle intended, which is to make full use of your talents along the lines of excellence. As you go forward, make sure you use your gifts to elevate others around you. Never forget that you need to aspire to excellence. And finally, we saw something in all of you. We saw this triple threat capability. All of you shared that as you walked in the door, this combination of IQ, EQ, and DQ. That was the price of admission to get you here. Well, guess what? The price of admission into alumnihood has the same requirement. The same requirement. And to remain in good standing as alumni, you must hold on to this combination of IQ, EQ, and DQ. And so what I would say is never, ever lose the decency you need to achieve greatness. Thank you all so much, and congratulations.